If you have a Connecticut driver's license sitting in your wallet right now, you need to stop what you are doing and watch this video all the way through, because the Connecticut DMV just made an announcement that is going to change the way every single driver in this state carries and uses their ID. And if you are not paying attention, you could find yourself in a situation you were never prepared for. So stay with me, because we are breaking down everything you need to know about Connecticut's brand new digital driver's license update right now. Let's start with the big picture. Connecticut's Department of Motor Vehicles is officially getting ready to offer digital versions of driver's licenses, and the DMV commissioner himself, Tony Guerrera, has confirmed that this is coming in 2026. This is not a rumor. This is not some far-off proposal sitting in a government committee. This is happening, and it is happening soon. Now, the first thing most people are going to ask is whether this means their physical license is being taken away. The answer is no. The DMV has made it clear that the mobile ID will be completely optional and is intended as a convenience rather than a replacement for your physical driver's license or state ID. So breathe easy on that front. But here is the thing. Just because something is optional does not mean you should ignore it. In fact, understanding this now puts you ahead of thousands of Connecticut drivers who are going to be caught completely off guard when this rolls out. So what exactly is a digital driver's license? Think of it exactly like it sounds. Instead of pulling a plastic card out of your wallet, you pull out your phone, open an app, and show your verified digital ID to whoever is asking for it. The DMV commissioner put it plainly when he said, "It is simply more convenient. You just pull out your phone and show it wherever you may be." That could be at a bar, a pharmacy, a government office, or even an airport. And yes, airports are a big part of this conversation. The DMV has already worked with the Transportation Security Administration to make sure the digital license can be used at airports, which is a massive deal because that kind of federal coordination is exactly what makes this system legitimate and not just a novelty. Now, here is some history that most people do not know. Connecticut actually first introduced the idea of digital licenses back in 2021, but the state paused development after watching other states face serious challenges with implementation. So this was not rushed. Connecticut sat back, watched what went wrong in other places, learned from those mistakes, and came back with a more thoughtful approach. DMV officials said they wanted to make sure the technology was secure and widely accepted before launching the program. That kind of careful rollout is actually a good sign for residents because it means the state is not just throwing something together. They want it to work properly before it lands in your hands. Now let's talk about where you will actually be able to use this thing, because that is what really matters. The DMV has indicated that businesses and retailers should be able to accept digital ID, which means everything from age verification at a grocery store to showing your identity at a doctor's office could eventually be handled right from your phone. And the tech partnerships are impressive. The agency is actively working with Apple, Google, and Samsung to potentially allow IDs to be stored in virtual wallets, though those conversations are still ongoing. If you are someone who already uses Apple Pay or Google Wallet, you already have an idea of what this experience is going to feel like. It is seamless, fast, and secure. But here is where I want to slow down and give you the real talk, because not everything about digital IDs is sunshine and convenience. The DMV commissioner himself dropped a word of caution that every Connecticut resident needs to hear. Commissioner Guerrera specifically said that drivers should still carry a physical ID in case their phone dies or the digital version does not load properly. That is the real-world advice, and it is important. Think about how often your phone battery dies at the worst possible moment. Think about what happens if you lose your phone, if your screen cracks, or if you simply have no signal in a particular area. In any of those situations, if you have left your physical license at home because you figured the digital one was enough, you could have a serious problem on your hands, especially if you get pulled over or need to board a flight. So the smart move here, and I cannot stress this enough, is to treat the digital license as an addition to your physical one, not a substitute for it. Use the digital version when it is convenient. Keep the physical one in your wallet as your backup. That combination gives you the best of both worlds. Connecticut is also joining a growing national trend here. With this launch, Connecticut will join more than a dozen other states that are already offering digital driver's licenses. States like Arizona, Maryland, Colorado, and Georgia have already been running these programs, and the feedback has been largely positive as the technology has matured. Connecticut is not jumping on a brand new experiment. It is joining a system that has been tested and refined across the country, which again is a reason to feel confident about this rollout. Here is your action plan going forward. Keep watching the Connecticut DMV's official website at portal.ct.gov/DMV for the exact launch date and the step-by-step instructions on how to set up your digital license once it goes live. Make sure your current license information is up to date, because your digital ID is going to be tied to your existing DMV record. And if you have not gotten your real ID yet, now is a great time to handle that, because since May 7th, 2025, the U.S. federal government has required anyone boarding a domestic flight or entering certain federal buildings to be Real ID compliant. And that requirement works hand in hand with where this digital ID program is heading. The bottom line is this: Connecticut is modernizing, and as a driver in this state, you have the opportunity to get ahead of the change instead of being surprised by it. Stay informed, stay prepared, and make sure you share this video with every Connecticut driver you know, because this update affects all of us.